May the peace be with you in the Golden Age. Chapter 1, Mrs. Master. Xingning, I heard that you have been in prison before. We are a 5-star hotel. We entertain the rich and powerful. We must never admit people who are innocent. The personnel manager is a stylishly dressed woman with delicate makeup. Although she tried her best to make a good face, the disdain in her eyes still revealed her true intentions. Xingning is the housekeeper of this hotel. In order to survive, she works hard every day. Now she knew that it was time to leave. Countless times, whenever the boss knew that she had been in jail. No matter how well she performed before, she will be dismissed mercilessly. The HR manager said, although we fired you, you can't give any subsidies because you have hidden your experience before. Xingning grasped the rag in his hand, and the hands of many years of labor were covered with countless small openings. As long as he got wet, it hurts badly. Manager, I understand, thank you for taking care of you for so long. Xingning smiled very humbly, her back that had been straight has been slightly rickets. She smiled at the personnel manager and turned around to go out. The woman was so amazed by her sudden smile that she couldn't help but blurt out and shouted, "You must have been a great beauty when you were young. No wonder there are such rumors." Xingning's hand on the doorknob paused. Before she could move, the door that hadn't closed tightly opened automatically. There are many hotel colleagues outside. The woman became more enthusiastic when she saw someone watching, and she proudly said the information she had investigated. Xingning's body trembled uncontrollably trembling, and a drop of tears shed from her muddy eyes. She wanted to yell and say no, but who would believe it? Am I right? It is a fact that she has been in prison, Xingning cannot deny it. If she could be reborn, she would never be so stupid. Yes. When the colleagues around me heard her answer, their faces changed. Xingning knew what his eyes would look like if he didn't look at it. From the hotel's logistics department, it is the parking lot. Xingning walked in a muddle-headed manner with simple luggage on his back. She was almost hit by a car accidentally at the corner, and the harsh brakes awakened her. She couldn't stop the pain when she looked at the license plate numbers beginning with the red letters. It is a special car for the army, and the identity of the person who can ride this car must be extraordinary. She got up in fear, and the guard who was driving got out of the car to check the situation. Are you okay? Didn't you hit you? Xingning shook her head. She was not careful and couldn't blame others. I'm fine. I think your face is very scary. Do you want to take you to the hospital? The guard said concerned. Xingning shook his head and refused, and the rear window of the car rolled down, revealing a well-maintained face. The graceful and luxurious woman shouted to the guard, "Xiao Chao, since she said she doesn't need it, she really doesn't need it. We are still in a hurry." "Okay madam, come right away." Xiao Chao Xingning smiled embarrassedly, "I'm sorry, our teacher's wife is upset, I want to leave quickly." What Xiao Chao said, Xingning only remembered one sentence, "Madam Master." She stared at the woman in the car with a surging hatred in her eyes. It is Qin Suifan, her best friend once. All the wrong things she did are inseparable from her. Has she become the teacher's wife? May the peace be with you in the Golden Age. Chapter 2, back to 1983. Qin Suifan in the car felt her gaze and turned to look at her strangely. After a lapse of more than 10 years, Xingning was too old to see how it was back then. Qin Suifan just felt familiar, but didn't remember where she had seen it. When Qin Suifan turned his head, Xingning happened to see the man sitting beside her clearly. "Shen Jiangwo." "Master, I'm sorry." Xiao Chao saluted Shen Jiangwo, then got into the car and started the accelerator. The sudden news made Xingning's eyes black. She already had a terminal illness and gave up treatment. It's just dragging the lingering body now. Can't stand the stimulation at all. The car whistled away, and Xingning fell to the ground in despair. Following the car is also an army green jeep starting with the red letter. The jeep stopped at a sudden stop and jumped from the position of the co-pilot, a tall, imposing middle-aged man in military uniform. "Head!" The driver screamed in panic when he saw him getting off the car. The middle-aged man picked up Xingning, who had fallen on the ground, and frowned when he saw her face. Xingning was already at the end of her life. She opened her eyes laboriously, and when she saw the person holding her in front of her, her pupils suddenly dilated. "Is it Su Qigong? Are you Xingning?" Su Qigong said, "I will take you to the hospital." Xingning's heart was filled with boundless sadness. Shen Jiangwo did not recognize her, Qin Suifan did not recognize her. In the end, it was Su Qigong, who had been retired by her, who recognized it. Su Qigong carried her into the car with a complex expression, and another middle-aged man who was sitting in the back seat of the car changed to the co-pilot. "Go to the hospital." "Yes, Chief." Turned the front of the car and drove towards the PLA General Hospital. "Qi Gang, I rarely see you so kind." "She is Xingning." Su Qigong sighed. The man in the passenger seat suddenly widened his eyes and pointed in the direction just now and said, "Xingning?" Then Shen Jiangwo. Jiangwo didn't recognize it. After so many years of thinking, he didn't recognize it. In the winter of 2016, Xingning swallowed her last breath in the arms of the man she had missed. The auditorium is full of voices, and all those who come and go are dressed in military uniforms for 80 years. Xingning blinked, watching the huge auditorium full of seats, and for a while, she didn't know what Eve was. She remembered that she died in Su Qigong's arms in an advanced stage of cancer. But why did you get to this place in the blink of an eye? Suddenly, she saw a line written in large characters in the auditorium, celebrating the 1983 Army Day Art Show. This line of words seemed like a bolt from a blue sky. Xingning was dizzy. Is she back in 1983? Xingning stood in the aisle of the auditorium ignorantly, and the one who came to watch the theatrical performance was the best soldier in the military region. Many little soldiers showed shy expressions when they saw her, bowed their heads ashamed to watch. But I couldn't help itching in my heart and wanted to take a peek. 18-year-old Xingning has not experienced any setbacks, ups and downs, or torture. It's like a rose in bud, tender and able to pinch water. She is beautiful and warm, but her ignorant eyes are also particularly pitiful. The auditorium was huge, and countless soldiers were secretly looking at the girl who appeared suddenly. Sitting in the crowd, Su Qigong also saw Xingning, his dark sword eyebrows furrowed tightly, and an inexplicable anger flashed in his heart. The instructor next to him elbowed him secretly, and said narrowly, "What's the matter?" "You know." Su Qigong shook his head. He didn't know him, but felt familiar. "May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 3, somehow." "Oh my God! Why did you come here, Xingning?" A round-faced girl ran over in a panic. When she saw the crowded people in the auditorium, she couldn't raise her head shyly. Xingning returned to his senses, and said, "Hongmei. The performance is about to start. The captain can't find you in the backstage, so I'm almost annoyed." Zhang Hongmei took her to leave. Zhang Hongmei has been accustomed to rough work since she was young, and she has great strength, and Xingning's hands hurt. It also allows her to have the real sense of rebirth at this time. "What are you doing in front? The captain is not allowed to come in front. If you bump into that leader, you will be unlucky." Xingning remembered that she came to see Su Qigong to show her attitude. She would never marry him. Because her father's letter from her hometown said that she was going to marry her to the son of a comrade in arms, this made her panic. At that time she was young and vigorous, relying on her long beauty, dreaming of flying on a branch to become a phoenix. Under Qin Suifan's bewilderment, she rushed to the front during the literary performance to find Su Qigong and let him die. In the previous life, this matter was a big mess. At that time, many military commanders were there. Su Qigong is a fighting hero who has just returned from the battlefield in southern Xinjiang. It is the famous living king. The female soldiers in the military area saw him just like a mouse saw a cat. They were so scared that they didn't even dare to lift their heads. In her previous life, she trembled in shock when she heard Su Qigong's name, and she had never thought about this marriage at all, because her dad had asked for it. Xingning's heart was throbbing and uncomfortable, and she was almost overwhelmed by the boundless guilt. She thought of her stepsister marrying the silly son of the mayor in her previous life, so she got her chance to become a soldier. As a result, he had a miserable end. Qin Suifan, who had been waiting in the background for a long time to make a fuss, couldn't sit still. She ran to the front secretly. At a glance, I saw the highly anticipated Xingning, and my heart itched with hatred. Humph! No matter how beautiful you are, how infatuated Shen Jiangwo is for you, she will surely ruin you and become a rat crossing the street. Qin Suifan put away the calculations under her eyes, and started to straighten out her neatly combed braids and greeted them with concern. Ning, how is it? Did you say it? Qin Suifan asked anxiously. Xingning's spirit was shocked, and her initially blank eyes became shining. At this time they had already reached the exit of the auditorium, but there were still many soldiers secretly looking at her. Seeing her shining eyes, even Su Qigong, who was determined, couldn't help but take another look. Say what? Xingning stared at Qin Suifan for an instant. Of course it means that you will never marry Su Qigong. Qin Suifan said as expected, with a touch of contempt and faint expectation at the corner of his mouth. The idiot Xingning didn't know what was good or bad, she had already inquired clearly. That is a cold-faced military god, who has made great military exploits in the southern Xinjiang battlefield. The youngest major in the military region. If Su Qigong was not born in the countryside, even she would want to marry him. Xingning has pressed her on her head since she was young, and even if she can't get it, she will never watch her marry such a good man. Xingning tilted his head and looked at Qin Suifan. My father just wrote to ask my opinion. I don't even know who Su Qigong is. Qin Suifan said excitedly, I know. No Suifan. Qin Suifan yelled badly, too carelessly. I didn't expect that a pig brain like Xingning would actually know how to think. But it's okay, even if she is not fooled now, she will have more powerful tricks when the show starts. Returning to the backstage from the front, Xingning was scolded fiercely by pointing his nose. She just joined the art troupe this year, and she doesn't know how to be a human being, and no one intercedes if she is scolded. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 4, Roll Call. Fortunately, most of the people nowadays are very simple, and if they do, there will definitely be someone who can't wait to step on them. Although being scolded, Xingning couldn't help but laugh. It feels good to be able to start again. After returning to this life, she definitely didn't want to be as selfish and superficial as she used to be, fighting for those who didn't belong at all. Thinking of the warm embrace before dying, Xingning's mouth raised a warm smile. In this life, she will never miss that cold, silent, scary, but also warm man. Qin Suifan always felt something was wrong looking at Xingning's appearance. The entire military region's art performance lineup is very strong. The heads of number 1, 2, 3 came in person, and several leaders of the cultural and industrial troupe also sat in front to watch. As time goes by, the background becomes more and more busy. Xingning has just joined the art troupe for less than a year. She usually likes to be lazy in training, and her popularity is not good. There was no chance to perform. But because of her long beauty, her white skin is as delicate as a rose. A pair of watery eyes look forward to brilliance. Even if there is nothing in her whole body, she can fight for some face for the art troupe. In modern terms, it means that one person raises the appearance of a group. The art troupe she belongs to is subordinate to the divisional political department, which is far behind the advanced song and dance troupe of the political department of the military region. They performed overseas performances on behalf of the country, and Tianjin Song and Dance Ensemble was responsible for the home performance tonight. The leader of the cultural and industrial troupe, Yang Weining, came from the military region. He heard that the head of the Tianjin Song and Dance troupe had never dealt with it when he was young. Tonight's performance is very important. Whether our art troupe can show its face and win honor to the 39th Division is up to you. Yang Weining is a woman of about 40 years old, wearing a straight military uniform, her hair meticulously twisted into a bun. The lips are slightly thin and the eyes are sharp, making her look very serious and inaccessible. Xingning was excited when she saw Yang Weining. In her previous life, after she was expelled from the cultural troupe for an accident, only Yang Weining, who was the most unpleasant to her in the entire military region, came to send her. Especially Xingning, if you are embarrassing me this time, I will send you back to your hometown. Yang Weining's eyes swept for a week, and finally fell on Xingning. She was most worried about this girl. She didn't like her usual actions in her heart, but she really liked her as a good seed. Yang Weining's warning is very shameless, and it can even be said to be ugly. Qin Suifan was ready to watch a good show, but Xingning just smiled and nodded, which made Yang Weining leave with satisfaction. After Yang Weining left, Lu Xiaoshuang, the leader of their song and dance group, followed Xingning with a serious face. Pooh! When he grows up like this, he looks like a fox. They have all heard that Xingning is a prodigal in her hometown. Because of her bad reputation, she came to the army if she couldn't get married. Do you really think their art troupe is such a mess? She would never allow such a nonchalant woman to stay here. Lu Xiaoshuang's eyes didn't seem to have seen Xingning. She is now full of thoughts and is attracted by Su Qigong. How can she manage so much? In the previous life, I just couldn't think about it, so I wanted to make a difference, fighting with Qin Suifan and fighting with Lu Xiaoshuang, but in the end it ended up like that. In this life, she will not grab or fight. But if anyone dares to frame her, she will repay it twice. After the short meeting ended, the host's active voice and warm applause from the audience sounded in front of them. The soldiers are all real people, and the applause is like thunder, which makes people excited. The place where Xingning changed their clothes was remote and far from the stage. In addition, their art troupe can't be compared with Tianjin Song and Dance Ensemble, so naturally it is not their turn to take the stage before the opening. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 5, show begins. Xingning's father is a veteran of the Korean War to resist U.S. aggression and aid Korea. Her mother has run away since she was born. Later, my father married another widow from a foreign country, and the widow also brought an oil bottle. Since she was a child, Xingning had a bad relationship with her stepmother and stepsister. Later, she realized that although her stepmother was mean to her, she really paid too much for selling her own daughter in order to make her a soldier. She finally understood in the previous life, but it was too late. The stepsister committed suicide by drinking pesticides less than 3 years after marrying to the mayor's house. The stepmother couldn't stand the blow and she couldn't afford it. Finally, when she was in jail, her father visited her once, and she still remembered the look in her eyes. All the past, in Xingning's mind, like black and white movies, kept playing back. Every scene and every shot made her hate herself very much. The hands on her knees were tightly clenched together, almost breaking her fingers. Xingning, are you nervous? Zhang Hongmei leaned to Xingning's side with a flushed face. I'm almost so nervous, I don't know where to put my hands. Xingning shook her head, not nervous. She was also nervous to death this time in her previous life, but after countless performances in the following, she was used to it. She just sat here quietly waiting for the scene, and she had a calm demeanor. Zhang Hongmei's face turned redder, and she whispered, Xingning, you seem to have changed. She became no match for the previous Xingning. Xingning panicked and quickly said at a loss, Hongmei, are you still complaining about me? I used to bully you, because I was not good, I apologize to you. Zhang Hongmei was used to being bullied in the art troupe. Someone apologized to her, but she was panicked and shook her head quickly. No, I didn't blame you, in fact, I know your heart is good. Everyone bullied her, only Xingning would apologize to her. Xingning felt sad for a while, seeing that she had been blinded by lard before, and even Zhang Hongmei, who was the most honest friend in the cultural troupe, could see better than her. I remember that Zhang Hongmei seemed to be married to a fellow soldier in her previous life. In the past, Xingning's eyes were higher than the top, and she naturally looked down on these people. After thinking about it for a long time, she did not remember what Zhang Hongmei's future husband would look like. It's almost here, it's almost here. Urged the backstage support staff responsible for arranging the performance. Xingning hurriedly stood up, sorted out the clothes on her body, and waited behind the curtain with the 7 dancing members of the art troupe. The huge and heavy curtain blocked everything in front of him, and Xingning was excited and quietly lifted the opening cloth to look ahead. It's just that as soon as she stretched her head, she suddenly felt countless pairs of sharp eyes, which scared her to put down the curtain and calm the noisy heartbeat. Sitting in the auditorium are the best soldiers and officers of the entire military region, many of whom are scouts. That look was like a reconnaissance plane, how could it not be able to spot her? It's just that everyone is not malicious, purely curious. Su Qigong in the audience was not interested in performing at all. If the commander hadn't ordered him to come, he would rather bring his soldiers to participate in the training. He was already drowsy sitting under the stage, and suddenly he saw the little head sticking out from behind the curtain. Su Qigong's hard face unconsciously appeared soft. It's so cute. Shen Jiangwo, who was sitting in his back seat, also saw Xing Ning, and a smile appeared on his polite face. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 6, Amazing Talent. Half a month ago, this little girl ran up to him and boldly confessed to him. At that time, he was thinking about where the wild girl is so courageous. Although coldly refused, there are still some joys in my heart. The following performance for everyone is from the 39 Division Art Troupe, Dancing Butterflies and Flowers. The host in military uniform on the stage introduced with a passionate voice. The 39th Division can be said to be one of the two most powerful field armies in the entire military region, and the chiefs of the military region focus on the most important points. Whenever there are various competitions, exercises and training, a place in the 39th Division is indispensable. Xing Ning took a deep breath and suppressed the tension in her heart. She hasn't been dancing for many years. Although Dai Lianhua still remembers her foundation, she stood on the stage and looked at the dark crowd below. Suddenly, her nervous calves trembled. Because of his outstanding appearance, he was temporarily arranged in the middle. Qin Suifan went mad with jealousy, and looked at Xing Ning's nervous expression with a smug expression. The two of them are from the same hometown. They grew up together, and she looked like an ugly duckling no matter where she was. Therefore, although she was good friends with Xing Ning in face, she hated her in her heart. I want to step Xing Ning under my feet in my dreams. Humph. Make you crazy, wait for you to look good. When the music sounded, Xing Ning's body danced freely with the music. That kind of talent embedded in the blood of the soul allows her to enter the state of selflessness without thinking or thinking too much. This feeling is really wonderful. She regained what was missing in the previous life and the beauty that she missed in this life. Xing Ning's dance moves are standard and full of aura. She who is completely forgetful in the dance, her face is naturally charming and refined. From the sharp, thorny wildflowers, they have grown into delicate roses and orchids with compelling aura. Wening, you have cultivated a good seedling. The head of the front row specially recruited Yang Weining, who was at the back, to the front. It is my duty to train talents for the army. Yang Weining respectfully gave a standard military salute. In fact, she was also murmured in her heart, watching Xing Ning's staring eyes almost fell off the stage, where she still looked half serious. She knows how worthless Xing Ning is. Let her take the stage today, all for the sake of cheering up. Originally, Yang Weining had discovered a smart and talented Qin Suifan that could hold the scene and was very satisfied. But Xing Ning's amazing talent suddenly showed her, which surprised her. Wening, congratulations. A soft female voice came. It was Su Yun, the head of the lieutenant colonel of the Tianjin Song and Dance Ensemble that was one level higher than her in the military area. Seeing Su Yun and Yang Weining disgusted, she ignored her and turned away. With the rhythm of the music, Xing Ning's dance moves become more and more proficient, and the coordination with others is also perfect. Dai Lianhua is a very difficult dance drama. Originally, the art troupe did not have the ability to perform this kind of dance drama. It was Yang Weining who wanted to compete in front of Su Yun and ordered them tyrannically before they drove the ducks to the shelves. Now everyone, under the leadership of Xing Ning, jumps better, and naturally they are happy. Others are happy, but Qin Suifan is not happy. She tried her best to put on the perfect smile and the most attractive angle, but she was still covered by the brilliance of Xing Ning's body and became an ugly duckling. She was jealous with hatred, which has always been the case since she was a child. No matter how hard she tried, she would be robbed of all eyes by her humizy face. In fact, Qin Suifan is not ugly, even better than most girls from the countryside. P.S. Recommend my new article, Big Chief, Little Daughter-in-Law, Rebirth plus Military Marriage Theme, don't miss it. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 7, Ripped Off the Skirt. She loved beauty when she was a child, better at dressing than Xingning, and sweeter than her mouth. People don't know how many times better than her, but she can't see these things, so she pays attention to Xingning's face. When Qin Suifan thought of Shen Jiangwo watching in the audience, the hatred in his heart was even more burning and uncomfortable. That was the son of the teacher, who was born in a tall man, but didn't have any bad habits. She worked hard in the army and her strength was strong. From the first day she joined the army, she was secretly moved. But every time he deliberately designed a chance encounter in the camp, he never put his eyes on her. What's more, Xingning also likes him. Does that woman like a good man like Shen Jiangwo? So Qin Suifan pushed all the mistakes to Xingning's head, which intensified her hatred towards her. Thinking about it, Qin Suifan got lost in her mind. When the dance was about to end, she unconsciously threw the prepared soybeans at Xingning's feet. The dancing Xingning's feet slipped, and the tragic experience of the previous life suddenly came to his heart. She was horrified in her heart, and she was embarrassed in public. She broke her ankle, and madly tore Qin Suifan's self on the stage in front of the entire military region, regardless of her image. No. She will never make the same mistakes in the next life. Xingning's body fell forward uncontrollably, and the world turned around. She wanted to stand firm with the flexibility of learning from others in prison. But unexpectedly, he was pushed hard from behind. He could have stood firm for the curtain call. The moment Xingning flew off the stage, it caused a sound of air conditioning. The moment she fell off the stage, she saw a strange smile on Qin Suifan's mouth. Xingning was unwilling to be reconciled. When her body was out of control, she concentrated all of her strength to her toes, and then took Qin Suifan's skirt. Just heard a tearing sound, accompanied by the sound of her falling. Yang Weining was angry and anxious in the audience. Seeing that Xingning fell down and called his guards to save people regardless of his identity, several of the officers who had been sitting up stood up. Before she could see clearly, a tall and straight figure moved the fastest, and it had flown to the stage within a few steps. But it happened too suddenly, and he was far away, and finally failed to catch the girl who had fallen. Xingning felt the pain in her ankle as soon as she landed, and she wanted to cry in discomfort. The music in the auditorium also stopped. If it weren't for the heads of number 1, 2, 3, they would definitely have to explode at this time. This is the first time that such an important military area show has made such a major mistake. This time the 39 Division Art Troupe was embarrassed. Qin Suifan's expression of panic, she must have been able to hide so many pairs of sharp eyes from the action she just pushed Xingning. Fortunately, the lighting in the auditorium was not bright, so she could deny it completely. Xingning, are you okay? I want to pull you. Qin Suifan cried as she said, the crying pear flower was weak and pitiful. Ha ha ha, chape. Go crazy, scream. Let everyone in the military area look at the woman who has a beautiful face, how superficial and mean in her bones. Qin Suifan clamored triumphantly in her heart. Before Qin Suifan's triumphant smile could be put away, he felt windy and cool in his lower body. Countless pairs of eyes were staring at the stage dumbfounded, and there was a clear voice of swallowing saliva. Qin Suifan stretched out his hand and then screamed hysterically. She actually wore a pair of shorts under her, and a pair of beautiful white legs were barely exposed in the air. It turned out that Xingning took the opportunity to tear off her skirt when she fell off the stage. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 8, Are you still a soldier? Xingning, you. Qin Suifan couldn't wait to strip Xingning alive, and immediately wanted to rush off the stage to tear up a face of her. Ah, how could this happen? The art troupe and others looked at the scene before them in astonishment, panicking for a while at a loss. Suifan, hurry back. As the captain, Lu Xiaoshuang was the first to wake up. Fortunately for her to stop it, otherwise Qin Suifan, whose reason was destroyed, would really fight against Xingning desperately. In the auditorium, the silence exploded from the original silence. Qin Suifan's mind was blank, and he couldn't even remember to hide behind the stage. It's over, she's completely over here. In front of so many people, I only wear a pair of underwear. In any case, the hat with a problematic style must be taken off, and so many people have watched her, so how can she be mixed in the army in the future? Qin Suifan fainted as soon as his eyes went dark. Fortunately, Yang Weining rushed over at this time, with a pair of eyes looking at Xingning with obvious dissatisfaction, and then personally helped Qin Suifan put on clothes and sent him to the hospital. Xingning was frightened by Yang Weining's eyes, but she didn't regret doing so. It was she who wanted to harm herself. In this life, she would never be the foolish idiot who was framed by others. For a while, everyone was busy taking care of Qin Suifan, who had passed out, but Xingning, who fell off the stage and couldn't get up for a long time, cared no one. She hugged her hands and feet and breathed a sigh of relief. The more attention you pay at this time, the more people you lose. Qin Suifan will not be able to stay with the art troupe in the future. I am afraid she will also be punished. Are you okay? A low voice rang overhead. As soon as Xingning looked up, he saw Su Qigong's young and handsome face. If I was going to say nothing, it turned into, it hurts. His eyes were pitiful, like a soft cute little animal. Su Qigong squatted down and stretched out a big hand to check her ankle, and he saw the redness and swelling turned into buns. Yingting's Jianmei didn't know why, and it became a hill. He touched with his hand. Xingning whispered pain. Su Qigong was an iron-blooded soldier with a thin layer of sweat on his forehead. Shen Jiangwo also came over. Comrade Xingning, are you okay? Xingning heard Shen Jiangwo's voice, raised her pear flower's rainy face, and bowed her head again without saying a word. Sitting on the ground, Xingning pulled Su Qigong's sleeve, and said pitifully, "Send me to the hospital. My ankle is probably broken." Su Qigong looked at her slender, white ankles that were not as thick as their own, and they were swollen and turned into radishes. "Can I go by myself?" Su Qigong asked blankly. Xingning glanced at him secretly and whispered, "No, it hurts so much that I can't leave." Su Qigong helped her up. His sword frowned, and a trace of evil spirit flashed in his eyes. He is a veteran who has been on the battlefield and survived in the sea. Even a subtle expression of impatience is enough to scare people away. Xingning said that she was not afraid of being fake, but thinking of the various things in her previous life, she didn't want to make herself the same as her previous life. Because of selfishness and cowardice, miss the real good man. Are you still a soldier? Su Qigong obviously disliked her physical ability. Yes, literature and art soldiers. Xingning bit her lip stubbornly. She could still stand up, but now she doesn't want to. You take me. Why is this person cold and hard, like a rock? P.S. The new article asks for support. Little angels, what a. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 9, being questioned. Su Qigong's expression was slightly surprised. Fortunately, his skin was of that honey color, otherwise he would definitely be able to see the scene of the living Hades blushing. Comrade Xingning, I will take you there. Shen Jiangwo said actively. No need. Su Qigong finished coldly, and hugged her directly. Before leaving, he confessed to Zhou Hong, I will send her to the infirmary, and later you will ask the chief for a leave. Well, you go. When I arrived at the hospital, I found a bone fracture. Must be cast. This injury must be cured, or it will affect dancing in the future. The doctor knew they belonged to the art troupe at first sight, so he put on a plaster and said. Su Qigong never said a word, with no expression on his solemn face, so scared that Xingning dared not even scream for pain. At this time, Yang Weining was already busy with Qin Suifan's affairs. Anyway, she was in a hospital, so she hurried over. Head Su, thank you, I will be here. Yang Weining sent Su Qigong away and turned to look at Xingning. She has a high position in the art troupe. She has only observed Xingning before and heard many bad rumors about her. Today, it is considered as a contact. When I look at it carefully, I appreciate it more and more. I'm sorry. Xingning hugged her knees and apologized cautiously, it was my fault that I humiliated us. I will change it in the future and will work harder to train. This is her truth, rebirth. She just wants to change her mind and be a down-to-earth person. Yang Weining saw her simplicity, and the sharpness in her eyes faded a bit. But she couldn't just leave Qin Suifan's skirt torn apart. I ask you, is Qin Suifen's skirt really an accident? Yang Weining was frightened when she mentioned this. If it weren't an accident, the girl in front of her was too vicious. Qin Suifen's future in the art troupe was completely ruined. Sheng Ning's original weak expression suddenly became very serious. Head, that kind of situation is beyond my control. Originally I danced well, but I was pushed a bit, and I wanted it only when I was in a hurry. I grabbed something and didn't let myself fall. As a result, I didn't expect this to happen. Yang Weining caught her and was pushed a bit. Her eyes became very serious. You said someone pushed you? Yes. I don't know who it is, but there are so many spectators on the scene, and someone can definitely see it. She didn't believe that so many scouts sitting underneath would not see the small movements above. As long as Qin Suifen dared to stare at her, she would catch her as the initiator. Yang Weining squinted her eyes and said after a long while, this matter will be investigated clearly by the organization department. Please take care of your injuries. Thank you, head, but what about the next condolences performance? Yang Weining sighed, we lost such a big person this time, and all subsequent performances were ordered to stop. Huh? Sheng Ning's eyes widened in surprise, not so serious in her previous life. Head, it's my fault. I will bear the responsibility alone. Please don't involve others. She can't hurt everyone. The dissatisfaction in Yang Weining's heart gradually disappeared. Knowing to take responsibility means that there is still responsibility, and a responsible army commander is worth training. I'll take care of this matter. After Yang Weining said, she turned and left, and Sheng Ning sat on the bed to salute. May the peace be with you in the Golden Age Chapter 10, you have been able. Head, go slowly. After Yang Weining left, she was alone in the ward. From rebirth to the present, she has been in a high level of excitement, and now she fell asleep deeply as soon as she relaxed. The next day was sober in the girl's chattering voice. Seeing her open her eyes, Zhang Hongmei hurriedly sat down on the bed, her face flushed with concern and asked, Are you awake? Are you hungry? I gave you breakfast from the cafeteria. He took out a military green iron. On the box, there is also the word art troupe. Come on, there are steamed buns and porridge. You still have the face to eat. Sheng Ning was holding the lunch box hand, and was splashed on the ground with a violent wave. Lu Xiaoshuang looked at her fiercely, and said angrily, It was you who killed him. How could we have lost such a big person if it weren't for you? Captain, we can't blame Sheng Ning for this incident, we have all seen. Zhang Hongmei wanted to say something, but in Lu Novel's aggressive eyes, her voice gradually lowered. Zhang Hongmei, you're more capable, right? You are just a recruit, and you are still a rural soldier. Are you qualified to speak here? Lu Xiao is articulate, and there are people from the city. Look down on the rustic rural soldiers. Sorry, it's my fault. Zhang Hongmei's scared eyes were red, and she couldn't help apologizing. She wanted to stand up and bend over and bow, but was held back by Sheng Ning. Lu Xiaoshuang, what are you doing? Come to make a noise early in the morning? What are you asking me for? Why don't you ask what good things you have done? Lu Xiaoshuang looked at Sheng Ning disdainfully, his almond eyes seemed to be breathing fire. It was you who made Qin Suifen the ugly face. It was you who let us go out without the face to see people. It's all you. In the 1980s, the conservative thinking, such a shameful thing, went out to be spine-stabbed. Although it was a misunderstanding and strict management of the troops, the art troupe is a place where women stay, and it is inevitable that there will be disputes and comparisons. What happened last night has spread throughout the military area today. On the way to the hospital, others heard that they were from the 39th Division Art Troupe, and they all looked at them with strange eyes. Lu Xiao twins are proud, when have they been treated like this? Talking, just cried. The other people who came together also looked ugly, but most of them were of average family background and didn't dare to cause trouble, so they didn't become this early bird. I'm sorry. But I didn't mean it. Sheng Ning was only thinking about giving a tooth for a tooth, but he didn't expect to injure others, and felt a little guilty. He quickly got out of bed awkwardly, and sincerely apologized to everyone. I'm sorry, I was the one who made everyone, I'm sorry, I really never thought of this. She was sincere, but Lu Xiaoshuang could not go on. In fact, they knew in their hearts that Xingning was unintentional in anxious situation. After all, Qin Suifan is not a good person either. Xiao Shuang, don't blame Xingning, she apologized. Yes. We were all on stage at the time, she was indeed innocent. Several other people thought that Xingning had a good attitude and followed suit. Humph. I won't care about you this time. Lu Xiaoshuang couldn't save face, snorted coldly, and took someone to Qin Suifan's room. Zhang Hongmei was left alone. She saw that everyone had finished walking, and diligently cleaned up the ground, and took out a bun wrapped in oil paper from her pocket. Toward Xingning smiled embarrassedly, eat.